7 of the 10 countries in the world most at risk from climate change are in Africa. This continent has seen weather-related disasters like floods and droughts double in the last 25 years. The need to contain the rise in global temperature within 2 degrees is evident. By now, almost everyone knows climate change is one of the world's biggest threats. Tackling this distressing issue requires a concerted effort to safeguard livelihoods, economic activities, and natural resources. Climate-smart agriculture, or CSA, has the potential of sustainably increasing productivity and resilience, while it can simultaneously reduce greenhouse gases and advance the achievement of national food security and development goals.
Climate change is already having an adverse effect on food security, which has a major impact on livelihoods. The projected changes in future temperatures and rainfall patterns indicates a significant decline in production of major staple crops such as maize, wheat, and sorghum.
FANRPAN continues to make efforts to advance climate-smart agriculture in Africa. To this end, the network works to improve access to knowledge and resources to accelerate the adoption of climate-smart agriculture and to empower and inform individuals to make climate-smart choices within supportive social systems. The network also aims to increase investment into the sustainable and inclusive use of natural resources through climate funds and other appropriate mechanisms.
We are focusing on policy advocacy and strengthening capacity to develop climate-smart agriculture policies, to assist member countries to review and understand the effects of climate change.
Sub-Saharan Africa is particularly vulnerable to climate change. The region is marked by a strong dependence on rain-fed agriculture and natural resources, limited infrastructure in rural areas, and high levels of poverty. The region is projected to suffer further water stress, more frequent droughts, floods, and other alterations in rainfall patterns leading to lower agriculture yields, unless urgent adaptation measures are taken.
We have done a scoping with the assistance of the Africa Capacity Building Foundation to look into all the 15 countries in Southern Africa to see how effective are their current policies, what recommendations are needed, what changes are needed to make them more responsive to climate change. So this is an ongoing process that we are looking at. What are the best practices that can be implemented to address climate change?
Africa is the continent that will suffer probably more than anyone else because of climate change, and especially in the agricultural sector, which is really threatening food security and creating challenges for those who do agriculture as a business. And climate-smart agriculture is very, very important in this regard.
Under the leadership of FANRPAN, a variety of studies and projects have been conducted by researchers and local consultants in 15 Eastern and Southern African countries. All these countries have examples of both traditional and research-based agricultural practices that can be deemed climate-smart, but as yet they are not mainstreamed and still receive limited support.
Construirmos infraestruturas de reserva, assim como termos tecnologia de irrigação que facilite poupar o uso da água.
Il faut avoir des variétés ou des techniques qu'on peut s'adapter à l'inondation. Et quand il y a des vents ou des rafales ou des sécheresses,
a large portion of the national populations of all 15 Eastern and Southern African countries reside in rural areas and are dependent on agriculture for their livelihoods. Some of the major issues faced in these 15 countries include natural occurrences such as declining rainfall patterns, droughts, floods, hurricanes, erosion, and declining soil fertility. Man-made factors include lack of adequate infrastructure, irrigation, storage, transport, access to markets, and the manufacture and maintenance of climate-smart equipment. Political and cultural challenges include land tenure, agricultural policies, and also traditions that leave women at a disadvantage. Through partnerships between government, research organizations, NGOs and various other stakeholders in the agricultural value chain, some of these issues are being addressed through projects at grassroots level. Eastern and Southern African countries generally have policies on agriculture and climate change. However, such policies often lack adequate instruments to achieve the goals they set. Furthermore, they are not always sufficiently connected across sectors. There is a clear need for greater policy coherence to avoid conflicts and create synergies.
So as we go forward, one of our priorities is definitely to be able to use our own ability and our own 26 years of experience on the continent in building human capital, in strengthening institutions, in bringing together experts so that we are able to really tackle this problem head on.
If we want to address climate change mitigation and resilience, we have to take agriculture fully into account because of its importance to the economies of Africa.
Climate change clearly poses enormous challenges to African agriculture. However, it may well bring about a significant opportunity to transform it. An opportunity to shift its policies, institutions and development strategies in the direction of sustainability and of a food-secure future free from hunger and poverty.